Good afternoon here in Indianapolis at the Bonanza Beat Ball Tournament. This is going to be Game 3, Indy Edge against the Bayou City Heat. We're out here on Field 3. Very hot. We do have some more cloud coverage, but the heat has absolutely clicked it up a notch.
Indy Edge and Bayou City Heat both come in 2-0 on the day. The winner of this game will lock up a spot in tomorrow morning's championship game opposite either the Philly Fire or the Indy Thunder, who are playing on Field 1 as we speak. We'll keep you updated on that game. Bayou City is the visitors, correct? Yes. And
correct.
Indy Edge are at home for this game.
They are already out in the field and ready to go, as we have Bayou City Heat is on our right on first base side. Edge is on the left at third base. We have measuring out here to the pitcher's plate out here already, getting set up.
The Indy Edge are the defending Bonanza champions and the defending World champions. They have not lost a game, in fact, in beat baseball since Wichita in 2021. So they're on a nice little streak, and they have had no trouble in their first two games, dispatching of Chicago and Boston. For Bayou City Heat, they've got a smaller roster, but what they have brought today is a lot of their power and talent. Tanner Gears starts it off. He's their leadoff hitter, and for the rest of the Bayou City lineup, Rosina?
I don't have them in order.
Okay.
So I'll have to wait for that. Just got names,
we'll see what we
do have Tanner.
Tanner Gears will be leading it off.
Making his way up to the plate.
He was inducted into the NBBA Hall of Fame last year in Beaumont, Texas.
He's getting ready to put some shingo. What does it say what he's putting on? Talking to the ump here a little bit as we have a couple pitches in here.
The Edge, we're told, are without one starter today. They're without Nick Mulheron. He won't play in this game, but other than that, the Edge looked fully locked and loaded. The usual suspects, Eric Rodriguez, the White brothers, Justin Holland, Aaron C., they're all here. Kyle Kennedy will be pitching for the Edge, and Fonzie Madrano will be pitching for Bayou City. Again, both teams come in 2-0, so the winner will be on television tomorrow morning.
Playing against
either the Thunder or the Fire. They're both 2-0, and they're playing over there
yes.
right now. This game's starting quite a bit later than scheduled because the second game specifically between Boston and the Edge took a while to complete.
Yeah, that took at least almost an hour and a half, I'd say.
Yeah, in fact, the game over here was finishing up just as the game, the 2 o'clock game was starting over on Field 1 between the Fire and the Thunder. So that game is well underway, and that is on the ISC Sports Network if you want to keep an eye on that as well. But we'll be holding this game down here on the NBBA Facebook page. We don't have the setup we had earlier. We are standing for this game, but we'll do the best we can.
Absolutely. Just got a little bit of crowd cover.
Indy Edge are on the third base sideline. Bayou City Heat are on the first base sideline.
Fonzie doing a few hops out there at the pitcher's mound from foot to foot with his red shoes. Gonna get some spray paint here to see the plate since the grass is so high up around it. That's vandalism, I believe. Fonzie making a straight line out at the front of the home plate and out to the edges.
And we're about to get underway here.
Tanner back up at home plate. Yellow Nikes.
The head umpire of the NBBA, or umpire-in-chief, Jason Price, is the umpire for this game.
Got our base check. I think we're ready to get this game on.
And play, says Jason Price. Let's play ball, y'all.
Low, almost hit Fonzie right out down the center as it's missing past every, but nope, one of the White brothers has it.
That's Corey. That is Corey White, number 3 for the Indy Edge, putting out Tanner Gears. Wow, what a play to start the game. Good hit, better play.
It was high pop out there. It just was right dead center, almost right to him.
Yeah.
Let's see, I don't have a number on this one.
People know Corey White for his batting prowess, but he can play some defense too. That's one out, and let's see, who do we have this? What is
not wearing a jersey and no number, so I'm not sure who this is.
Sorry, guys. Oh, this is
Ja'Cory Wiley.
Ja'Cory Wiley is up.
It was like I was just going through the list. And ball was a little bit high under that swooping bat.
Ja'Cory played for the Edge for a few seasons before coming back home to Bayou City.
Just barely nicking that. I think I could hear a little bit of a tick on that as it went by. And slamming out over into right field. Oh, slammed up in. He's got him out. He is
and
out.
There's the other White brother checking in. Is that Corion?
That was Corion.
Corion White. So, put outs by each of the brothers, and that's 2 up, 2 down in the Bayou City first.
This will bring Joe Fleeks up to bat for the Heat.
Edge looking sharp early on defense, Rosina.
They are. They're all over that. They mean business. Getting Joe Fleeks up to bat.
Another former Indy Edge player who came back home to Bayou City. He played for the Edge. Fleeks did for a few years.
A very speedy set-ready ball there by Fonzie. Very quick cadence.
He has one of the faster cadences in beat ball, for sure. And it seems to work. He's also had some of the best contact rates over his career of anybody.
Slamming up, high pop-up, far center to right, past Justin's head. Oh, but he's got him.
Corey again?
Again. Another Corey White.
Corey White deep again. And
Hopping up and down.
Charging off the field. He can't do any more than Fonzie and Bayou City just did with those 3 balls, but they picked all 3 of them.
Just boom, like that. Pulling themselves up to bat, keeping no score for Bayou. Outstanding defense. Hustle, driving right over there and scooping it up, not wasting a second.
No, and you don't have a second to waste either, and that's the difference between an out and a run, man. And Corey was clean with that last one.
I have Kyle heading out to the pitcher's spot.
Kyle and the Edge put up some numbers on offense last year that were just completely mind-boggling. Let me go through a few of these. The Edge at the World Series had a team batting average of .681. That's 130 runs and 191 at-bats. This is the highest team batting average at any league tournament in the era of 100-foot baselines, and it wasn't even close. By 40 percentage points over what our research said was second. They had 6 players on their roster with 20 or more at-bats at the World Series that hit above 600 and 3 that hit above 700. And, of course, Justin Holland became the first player in beat ball history to hit 2 home runs in a game, and it was the championship game, which you called.
Has Eric Rodriguez up with a practice toss across the plate by Kyle.
Eric Rodriguez continues to build his resume, which will one day land him in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He is now in his 10th season.
It's traditional red bandana he's got on.
It's actually his 11th season if you count the pandemic season, but it'll be his 10th World Series.
Base check is clear. Kyle exhaling deeply. Another exhale. Oh, Eric whooshing just underneath the ball.
Eric Rodriguez was one of those three players I mentioned who hit over 700 for the Edge at last year's World Series. He hit 788.
Another just sliding over the ball.
Not only did he hit 788, but he was also the defensive most valuable player for the tournament.
Taking a pass, clapping his leg as it comes by to get the timing.
And that's something that he started to do with the Thunder. He's carried that over.
Slamming hard deep into left field, just inside the line. That's a clear sailing, easy run for Eric Rodriguez. Putting the first run up on the board of this game.
That ball was blasted to left, and if it had been a little bit higher, maybe it would have gone. But
I would have thought that was a close call for maybe 5 feet off.
That was crushed. 1-0, Indy Edge, and you couldn't have asked for a better start if you're the Indy Edge than this. This is
this is
Sixer.
Corey
White.
Slamming it down on the ground along the first base side. They're hustling for it. He is out.
Nice play. Tanner Gears cut that off. So
come back to pick that off.
So Corey put out Tanner in the top of the first, and Tanner puts out Corey in the bottom of the first. And now it'll be his younger brother, Corian, try to pick him up. 1 out, 1 in, bottom of the first. Corian White was another of the Edge players that hit over 700 last year. He hit 727 at the World Series. Just phenomenal. Numbers are just off the charts.
I'm ready for that pitch. High on that pitch.
Hard swing, too. He was just over the top of him, but that's Kyle's aim, is to hit the top of their bat, get that air.
Very close. He's taking a pass.
And he also slapped his thigh.
Yes.
For timing purposes.
And this time he was underneath the ball. Ball up above the bat by about 3 inches.
It is important for the catcher to catch that ball when he can, get it back to the pitcher to keep the rhythm going. And so we'll see if that has an effect, that the catcher didn't field that cleanly.
Ball slipped out of Kyle's hands when he threw his hand behind him, so the ball dropped to the ground behind him. He's getting a rag rushed out to him to wipe off the sweat.
Where's that rosin bag when you need it?
Little chalk dust. The Edge is wearing their Superman t-shirts for today. They've been wearing them all day. It's either a dark navy or a bluish gray shirt that has Superman in it, yellow and blue, with Superman standing above the city. He has an American flag behind him. That is
he
going to
swung
be a
early.
strike.
That was, I think, Corian jumped him a little bit, it sounded like. He was a little early on that one, maybe. So that's the second out of the inning.
It's going to bring Justin Holland up to bat with his red shoes and his camouflage sleeves in colors of blue, red, gray, and white.
What a star he's become in this sport. He won that longest ball.
He was basically to the base by the time it came down.
A lot of hang time on that
We are
one.
back on. Sorry, guys. Just missed a powerhouse of a hit by Justin Holland. Probably about 150 feet up in the air to center field. Easy hit and run for Justin Holland.
It was not a home run, but it was a long, loud run. So that's 2 on the board now for the Edge. 2 in, 2 out. Runs by Rodriguez and Holland, and yeah, that's it. A strikeout by Corian White and a ground out by Corey White to Tanner Gears. So 5th spot in the batting order coming up now. Is this Aaron's?
No, not Aaron. This he can't hear the bases. I will catch who this is in a second. I've got the catcher in between. Oh, this is number 7. Sorry.
Okay, Mike Jackson.
This is Mike Jackson. Aaron is up next.
You still feel okay if you're Bayou City, if you get out of the inning right here, only giving up 2 runs.
If they can get this out right here.
They hit the ball well in the first inning.
It's going to be a little grounder right past the pitcher. Gobbling up run. Oh, he caught his hand on his shirt. His shoes caught on his shirt jersey.
Oh, no.
And so he did not make it to the ball.
Oh, and you can't afford that in a game like this. So he got a little tangled up in himself and in equipment and apparel.
Yeah, that was Richie Flores out there got caught in his jersey.
Well, Richie is our PR director, and we love him, but that's a play that
can't afford to miss.
He makes 9 times out of 10. It was rolled. And now they got to deal with Aaron C., who also has home run power.
Bases, please. Thank you. Play.
Kyle standing tall with an exhausted, slamming out into right field, out past Ja'Cory Wiley, way out there. It is out there,
gone.
and he has got it. That is another run. Ja'Cory did get to the ball, but just not in time.
Yeah,
It was way past him.
No way, and he went to right field with it too. And so that's, again, now that last run by Mike Jackson, now that becomes 2, and now you got Eric Rodriguez up. Let's see how many runs come in now after the play that should have ended that inning. So
Bringing
now we're
Eric
up to 4.
back up to the plate.
And Eric just launched one his last time up. He gets a little more air under that and another 10 feet on it maybe, and he's going to have himself a dinger.
And that base check. Eric giving a thumbs up.
This is the number 1 ranked player in the world right here.
Oh, the pitch was just a hair on the outside, just barely past the tip of the bat.
That's a good swing, and if he'd have gotten a hold of it, it'd gone a mile.
Kyle putting his hand out, telling him, hold, you're good. Oh, the ball was just underneath the bat. Eric nodding. He's going to take this one, let it go. He's got his light blue gloves on as he's listening to that go by.
Good call. Now, I've noticed a lot of these Edge players will take the 3rd pitch instead of the 4th pitch.
And a high pop up over sleep. I don't think that's going to stay fair. It is foul. That was about 12 feet outside of your 3rd base line. He was already 3/4 of the way down there to first base.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea if it had stayed fair, but alas, it's a foul ball, and so back to the plate we go with a full count now and 2 outs. Bottom of the first, 4-0, Indy Edge.
And that sun is
It's
becoming
baking us now.
blistering now.
The heat is on. They just turned it up.
And not in a good song kind of way. Eric back to home plate with his Nike shorts on. Nick headed back out to the plate. Pitchers. Deep exhale from Kyle. That was a very slow pitch. It just released from his hands almost on a pause. Kind of floated into the plate. Bringing Bayou City back up.
So, 4 runs in the inning, though, for the Edge. And it is a 4-0 game, and the bottom of the Bayou City order will be up in the top of the second. They made good contact in the first, did Bayou City. They just got put out.
They just had that defense on top of them and taking care of business. Everybody running up to get their bats. As Edge takes the field casually and relaxed. No need to hurry in this weather. Save every drop of energy that you can.
And the Edge are missing, again, they're missing a significant player in their lineup, Nick Mulheron, who would ordinarily be batting in the second spot, or at least in the top 3 in the lineup, so they moved the White brothers up, and Mike Jackson is in there in the 5 spot. Everything else is pretty much close to what you saw last year with this team. Mark Morris is gone, but they've added a rookie that we haven't seen yet named Jacques Franco.
I did see him on the list. Fonzie stretching, retying his shoes. Getting some instruction from Kyle out there about number calling from the Heat. Brandon Chesser coming up to the plate. Let's see, I have been instructed to say that is the best hitter. Say, what was I supposed to say? That he's the best hitter in the league? The best player in the league? Let me try to cover all my bases there.
Wait a minute, are we talking about Eric Rodriguez? Or?
No, Brandon Chesser.
Oh, I see. Well, here he is, and let's see what he can do
Let's
now.
see if he's going to live up to all that swag talk.
Get his team on the board here.
Fonzie doing his little hop out at the pitcher's position. Thumbs up from the bases. Pop. It's going to be short for Brandon, popping about 5 feet out and rolling right back to the catcher. Definitely getting a taste for it there. Strong exhale. Even swing of the bat. It's going to roll right out past Fonzie on the ground. It's going to be short. Eric is on top of that like you would not believe. And that is out.
You're not going to roll a ball to Eric Rodriguez and get to the base before he gets to the ball. It's just not going to happen, and that's 1 out.
This will be Richie Flores up to bat next for the Heat.
3rd different Edge player already to make a putout. The White brothers have them, and now Eric's got his.
Eric.
And now Ricardo, a.k.a. Richie Flores. He owes the Heat a run here.
Kind of leaning back.
The little mishap.
And got a taste of it as it rolled back to the catcher.
His best bet may be poke it to the right field side, maybe.
Slamming it down. It's going to be foul again over on the third base. Just barely missing the base as it rolls past. But he didn't power it.
I just feel like no matter how hard you hit it, if you hit it anywhere near the ground, you need to keep it out of Eric Rodriguez territory. So their best bet might be hard up the middle or try to go to right field a little bit. Although they went to right field in the first inning and the White brothers took care of it.
Annihilated that.
You know, it's the left hand doesn't get you, the right one will.
Strong exhale by pitcher Fonzie. Richie back ready to bat with his orange gloves. And he's got just underneath the ball there.
I think that's Lee Rodriguez on deck.
That is Lee on deck. Slamming it down just barely. It's going to be foul. Rolled right out at the last minute. But that was past Eric. It was all the way into Aaron C. territory.
That was a good idea there, right down that first base line. I guess if you're going to hit it to that
Oh,
side.
and he almost threw it into Eric's head as he threw it up front. Eric moved his head out of the way. Back again to the plate for another try. Starting to get a little tired in this heat after you've run to the base a couple of times.
And there's the first
A little
strikeout
anger
of the game.
there as he tosses the bat straight down at the plate.
Fonzie's first strikeout. All the other 4 outs have come on edge putouts. And so now the veteran Lee Rodriguez
Up to bat, left-handed batter.
I think I mention this every time I call a Bayou City Heat game. Lee Rodriguez had one of the most famous hits in beatball history, winning the 2002 World Series with a ball to right field in Illinois that beat Oklahoma City. Walked it off. The only championship that the city of Houston's ever won in beatball. And here he is now 21 years later, still playing.
Bringing that bat back up over the shoulder. Relaxed on the knees. And a pop-up over short into right field.
Oh,
Corion's got it. He has it.
Yeah. Lee doesn't have the speed anymore to beat Corion White to that one. But again, good contact. 2 of the 3 hitters put it in play. They're just picking them up. So 6 up,
They're
6
hitting.
down.
Yeah, they're just
To the bottom of the second. 4-0. Edge strong.
Heat heads back out to the field. Edge is already in off the field.
The Edge are going to start this inning with a double dose of the White brothers. And Corey and then Corion. And then Justin Howland.
Bayou City wearing their orange and black jerseys. Most of them have black pants, I think, except for Tanner has white. And most of them have on orange socks as well.
And you mentioned that the Edge busted out some new ones, huh?
Yeah, they got some Superman jerseys on.
Nice.
Superman standing in front of an American flag and a city silhouette in the background.
Oh, that's so cool with the American flag.
And then the Edge traditional logo with the sound bite on their sleeves. A couple tosses there from Kyle.
Just got a little bit cooled off.
I saw that. Did that feel good or painful?
Yeah, both.
Got Corey up to bat here.
Corey grounded out to Tanner his first time up. I wouldn't count on that again. Corey's hit 3 home runs in his career, which puts him 2 behind his teammate Justin Howland.
Winding up the bat.
But 2 of
Deep
his
exhale.
3 home runs have been here, right at this facility.
A slammer down on the ground center field. Out. It's past the
Got
first
that.
line. The second. And he is out. They got him, though.
Nice play.
That was Joe Fleeks. Joe Fleeks with the
up
putout.
the middle. Nice play. I had almost given up on that. I thought that was going to go right through all of them. Good play by Fleeks.
Yeah, rolled right past, is that Dennis Lynch out there? Dennis Lynch for the Heat. And Joe picked it right up. So let's put brother Corian up to bat, see what he can do.
2 at-bats in the game for Corey and 2 putouts by the opposing defense. You don't see that every day. Usually when he puts it in play, he's a good bet to score, and so is this one. They've done a good job keeping the White brothers off the scoreboard so far. It's the rest of the Edge team that's done it.
Leaning back.
And a time for a baby.
Twisting that bat up over the shoulder. It's going to be a slammer, but way foul by a good 40, 50 feet on the first base side. Heck of a hit, but way out.
Yeah, I was a little bit late on that.
He didn't get very far, though. It was called very quickly.
Defense needs to be ready because he could straighten the next one out.
And over the top of that one, the ball was a little low.
That sounded very kind of low, yeah. I wonder if that was another slippage.
He's taking that. That was another low pitch as well. Now slam it, same positioning, going to be foul about the same, out on the first base side.
He's a little behind it, though.
Back up to the plate.
One
This
out.
pink cleats.
1 out, bottom of the second. 4-0 the score.
We're picking the bat back up from sitting in front of home plate. Exhale by Kyle. Asking him to ease off. And it's going to be a little grounder, and that also is going to stay foul. Just about 3 to 4 feet inside the first baseline again. Consistently hitting in that same location. Taking a little bit longer to come back this time. He's attempted to run to the base 3 times now. Take his time. He was almost to the base this time around. And back to home plate.
Kyle really wants this one here. Full count.
Definitely wants this hit. Re-swinging that. And back up, ready for that pitch. And that is going to be out.
Second strikeout for Kyle Kennedy. The White brothers are combined 0 for 4 so far in the game, but everybody else has been right on target. So now Justin Holland, he scored his first time up.
Justin up to bat.
If they can get Justin here, then that's a 3-up, 3-down inning, and Bayou City's really in the game with the top of their order coming up. Justin could turn one around and put 2 on the board if he really gets into one.
If he gets his teeth into it, it's very possible.
Sure.
It's not a far thought at all.
Play.
All set up ready, shrugging of the shoulders. And just barely catching the edge of that and flubbing off the top of the bat.
He was right there.
One strike. Play. Go, baby. Go, Kyle.
And late on that swing, missing. Taking that pitch.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Getting a taste of it, but that is going to be foul on the third base side.
Ooh!
That was That was about 10 feet outside of the
It was
third base
outside of the
line.
line, but for some reason Jason Price called an infraction. I'm not sure what.
He said he's told his guy something.
Maybe we can get an explanation.
Okay, so what happened was that in a previous play, they were warned, Houston was warned because they've been talking when the batter, when the cadence is already ready, so when the batter's already ready. So they were warned, and so they just did it again, and so now it's over.
All right, our scorekeeper says cadence during talking during the cadence of the pitch is what Jason Price called that a run, even though it would have been a foul ball. He had warned them about making noise. You can communicate on defense before the pitch, but once the pitcher says set, you gotta be quiet out there. Now they're but I guess they're still. Are they still discussing?
The ump is out there talking to Tanner Gers, and to Fonzie is standing out there listening.
Okay.
And Jason is explaining to Tanner
This is
the
interesting.
issue.
Because Tanner also played a season with the Indy Edge. Bayou City's got several players who, for at least a season, played with the Edge.
So there's still some discussion going on over this call.
They're saying they can't hear Kyle's cadence out there. Kyle's cadence sounded loud enough to me. I'm not sure how they can't
He
hear
is also facing us, and they're
He
behind
is.
him.
No, that's true. That's true, but that's also the case in any game.
That's any pitcher, yes.
And
So this will bring Mike Jackson up to bat for the Edge. So I think they're counting that as a run, correct?
if Mike Jackson's up to the plate, then yes,
Yep.
that's
Okay.
a run. So it's
Now it is 5-0. Mike has his Flash socks on, actually. Superhero Flash socks with his blue shoes.
Fire 14, Thunder 9 after 3.
Solid hit. That's going to be out. That was going to be foul. About
Again.
3 foot of the first base line.
They're going down that right field line right now. I don't know. I don't think they're doing it on purpose because their power is not going to be over there. But they're going down that line, and so. But they're just missing foul.
They're
Again.
just.
Halfway through the game over there on field 1, 14-9, Philly over the Indy Thunder. The winner of that game plays the winner of this one tomorrow morning for the championship. We've also been reminded Joe Fleeks of the Bayou City Heat hit a home run earlier today against Chicago. The only home run hit so far in this tournament this year.
This week.
Good for Fleeks. I think that's the first of his career.
Oh, just underneath that. He's stepped forward quite a bit to reach for that.
I want to thank Neil McDonald for that update. And
Thank you, Neil. Neil Dog.
We'll keep our eye on the Fire and Thunder game.
It's going to be, again, slamming right down on the first base side, about 6 inches out of the line.
Boy, they're wearing out that first base line over there, and they're getting a little bit closer to a fair one each time, it seems like.
Each time it's inching closer. One of these times it'll psych them out. If he ever gets in play and puts those flash socks into overdrive, they won't catch them. We'll see if the flash comes out.
Boy, there's still a lot of game left over there, but if the Fire can hang on, it's one thing to win at the World Series in an elimination game late in the week. It's another thing to come into the Thunder's house and beat them on television. That would be a huge shot in the arm for that still pretty young team.
3 strikes. Play.
Taking it easy and a pass on that pitch.
So now the count runs full. Still 2 outs.
It's again going to be outside and foul of the first base, but probably by about 40, 50 feet. He's adjusting his socks. He's got an itch on the ankle, I believe. Getting a little tired of coming back to the plate. Trying again. He does have Aaron standing up behind him with Superman socks. So we got Flash socks and Superman socks. And that is going to be an out.
All right, so that'll end the inning. 1 run on the board on that sort of odd play involving an infraction, but not a bad inning for Bayou City. Now they come up in the top of the third. It is 5-0 Edge.
They definitely are going to have to come in here and put some runs on the board. You can play defense all you want, but if you're not going to put some runs up on the board,
right, and they have the power to do it. Bayou City has the power to put runs on the board, even against this team. Right now, the Edge has just been D'ing it up. Plus, you can't hit them on the ground to them either.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to get them up in the air and give yourself plenty of time and hope that you're 2/3 of the way to the base.
And Tanner Gear is first up in this inning, and he just cost his team a run out there with that infraction. So you'd think that he would be motivated now to really get into one.
Going to really want to sink his teeth in there.
Yeah.
Sail it away.
And he's another one with the kind of speed that if he gets the ball in the air for 3 seconds or so, it's very, very difficult to put him out. He just needs to get some air under it. Last time he rolled one, he got some, but not a lot, and Corey White made the play. But then he turned around and made a play on Corey. So
now he's got to redeem that infraction.
Now he's going to redeem that and see if he can get his team on the board here. They're still in this game. Again, 14-9, Philly over the Thunder. That's the last score we have over there. Comets and Boston are also playing, along with Gateway and Cleveland.
What was the score, DB?
14-9 Philly after 3.
What?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Philly.
Some hopping up and down there by Fonzie. His proverbial hops before he pitches. Smacking the ball into the glove. And the sun is back from behind its cloud.
The heat is on.
And not just the Bayou City heat. And smacking it down on the ground behind Eric as he rushes for it. But he's still got it. He ran incredibly, beat the ball down there, slid behind it, even though Aaron C. was right there to grab it and had that out like in lightning.
What a remarkable play, and that's an MVP caliber defensive player, and what a play. And Tanner's no slowpoke.
He was all over that ball.
He took the right angle, and he takes what Kevin Simpson and some of it he used to call the Z-axis angle, where he diagonals over and back toward the line and things like that, and he does that better than anybody.
He's going to bring Ja'Cory up to bat for the Heat. Now that's hard luck there for Tanner, but you're just not gonna outplay that when it's on the ground with Eric.
That was awesome. He's got amazing ears because that was also the side of the field that the base came out of. So Tanner's running the third base and the ball is going that direction, and he still was able to track it.
Pop up, it's going to come foul right into Jason Price's hands. tossing it back to Fonzie. Back for another go around. Try to keeping it fair.
Straight. Play.
And swinging a little early. This is going to be a strike.
Strike.
Definitely the Bayou is desperate to get on the board.
Jacory actually played against some of these guys in a championship game in 2018 when Bayou City made it to the championship game, and they were one of the few teams in 4 or 5 years to beat the Thunder with Eric Rodriguez and all the White brothers, and Jacory was like 5 for 6 in that game.
Oh, now almost hit Fonzie. It's right in the center, but Eric is over there gobbling it. Oh no, he lost control of it, but he missed the base.
Oh man, he gave it to him anyway. Okay, so
Eric did get him out.
Eric lost the ball for a second, but Jacory missed the base, which allowed Eric to recover.
To recover and nail it.
Oh man, so both.
He caught that about 3 seconds after he dropped. Not even, like maybe a second and a half after he lost control of that ball.
Eric records a put out even when he gets lucky there, because if Jacory hits that base, that's a run.
Yeah, if he would have hit it the first time around.
That was a new, yeah, that's a new one.
Top. Sorry. That's her job, but
Well, yeah, because they're missing. Yeah, top of the
Drink.
top of the third inning. So 2 outs now. That's Rodriguez's third put out, so he's got 3. Let's see. Corian White's got 2. Corey White's got 2.
I think that was 2 for this.
That's 2 for this inning, yeah?
Yeah, I think that's 2.
It is, and now Joe Fleeks.
Yes, Joe Fleeks would be up to bat.
Joe Fleeks, who we just found out hit a home run. I actually did not know that. I was not told.
Did not know that either.
We were.
It's got to make you feel good. He's up there pumping everybody up. Trying to fix third base there. Gonna go replace third with the new base. And Joe telling them, I'm just here. You do what you gotta do. We're pulling everybody in while they change this to get them out of the heat.
Uh-huh. And that's a good idea, too. Conserve energy, conserve all of that. It's not oppressively. This isn't anywhere near where it was, I'm sure, in Beaumont or even in Wichita, but it's probably 90.
It's still wear and tear.
Yeah,
It is not hot out here. It feels
degrees
great out here. The weather is beautiful.
This weather is beautiful. You heard it from Brandon Chesser. We have.
So, are they switching a base out here? It looks
They were switching third base, but
Third
then we had
base.
an issue out on the field. I think the spotter tripped,
Oh.
so they were checking on the spotter.
Was it the hole, or is she okay? Oh, no.
While we have this break in the action, we remind you that if you're interested in learning more about the game of beep baseball or the organization that sanctions beep baseball, visit www.nbba.org, www.nbba.org.
Maybe you can find a team in your area if you would like to play, or maybe you know somebody who would like to play, or you just want to share this with others.
Also, you can find us, of course, on Facebook, on Twitter at NBBA76. You can join the Beep Ball Nation Facebook group, where a lot of games are live streamed and a lot of information is posted and published. Check us out on any of our platforms. The
And
world,
even one better step, donate. Or come volunteer. We always can use volunteers. This game would not be possible without all the volunteers. Whether it's bringing water to the players, keeping track of the bases, helping watch the balls out in the field. It takes a lot of volunteers to help put this game on. Just come help out and participate.
the
Still
World Series of Beep Baseball for 2023 will take place from July 29th through August 5th in Norman, Oklahoma. Home of the College Softball World Series, which is in full swing right now.
So we got a replacement at third base. It doesn't sound much better than what we had. Maybe it will make it through the rest of the game.
I got a chance to catch a little bit of the College Softball World Series, not much of it. I got a chance to watch Tennessee knock off my Crimson Tide. I don't know what they did in their second game. I think they played either Stanford or Oklahoma. But that's going on in Oklahoma City right now. Norman, just down the road from Oklahoma, just south of it, the home of the University of Oklahoma. Sooners.
We will be there in about 1 month. No, month and 3 weeks.
It's right around the corner. Won't be long now. In between now and then, we got several other tournaments. We'll be in Bolingbrook, Illinois, outside Chicago next weekend for the Bolingbrook Beep Ball Bash. That's an 8-team event. Both of these teams, in fact, will be there, the Edge and the Heat. Along with others, we'll get our first look at the San Antonio Jets this year. They were runner-up last year.
Getting everybody set back up on the field, ready to get back.
There's tournaments on the East Coast. There's actually an event going on today, speaking of which, in Dallas, involving the new Oklahoma team and 3 Texas teams. A little round robin.
This is again Joe Fleeks up at bat.
Here we go. Game on.
A little late on that swing.
Top of the third. 2 out. 5-0. Indy Edge.
And that is going to be another strike. Swinging right past that.
Update, Thunder coming up in the in the bottom of the 4th, 17-9 now. Philly Fire extended the lead. They said Miguel Tello's playing for the Fire, and he is picking up balls. I don't doubt that for 1 second.
A powerhouse slop over into left field, just past Aaron. It is way out there. And he is safe. That is going to be finally putting the Bayou City Heat on the board. Joe Fleeks, way out there past Aaron C. He was hoping for another home run, I am sure.
When he's on, he can hit as hard as anybody on this team, and he has been on today because that ball was scolded by that left side of the defense. Eric really had no shot at it. Aaron C. had a shot, but maybe not a very good shot. And
he was running for it. Bringing Brandon Chesser up to bat. Now that the Heat is on the board, it is a 5-1 game. And they've got to get that ball up in the air so they can get to the base. That base check. Popping down just past the pitcher. Eric is all over climbing up to that. And he's got him out.
Nice play.
Brandon grabs the top off of third base and tosses it in the air. That will send the Bayou City Heat out to the field.
Was that Eric on that last put out?
Yes, that was Eric.
So I count now 4 for him on the day. And we head to the bottom of the third. All right. But
Corian was right there with him, but that was Eric with the
5-1.
credit.
And they're taught to communicate, so often it looks like they'll come close together, but Eric and Corian have been playing together for so long, they know where each other's are at.
Joe communicating with his team. Let's get out there. Let's go. Get out there and hold them to it so they can come right back in to add some more runs up.
And
Should be Aaron
C leading
Yes.
it off for the edge and then the top. Important inning for Bayou City here. If they can hold them down here, they're in the game. But we've seen so many times that the edge can pile on runs in a hurry.
Could spell doom for the Orange Heat. Aaron coming up to the bat with his Superman socks. There's a couple sets of Superman and Flash socks. See, Corey also has Superman socks. Ready for that pitch. Nailing it down on the ground, bouncing up at Kyle. They're not even near. He is safe.
I wonder if that ball, they didn't seem like they reacted well to it, did they,
They did
Rosina?
not. They acted like they were a little. First, they didn't move, and then finally, number 13,
Well, it's beeping.
Dennis went towards it, but I think it might have been like down on the grass or something.
It was on its speaker. It's not the loudest ball in the world to begin with, and they just act like they couldn't hear that. Either way, that's a live ball. The run counts. 6-1, and now
bring
they're the top
Eric.
lineup. My goodness.
Not a spot you want to be at with no outs.
Please. Thank you. Thank you. Play.
The slammer going to be way foul on the first base side by about 50 feet.
Opposite field, and he was late, or Kyle was inside, one or the other. That was clubbed, though. Anyway,
It was a loud thwop.
here's another interesting tidbit from last year's World Series. Neil McDonald, if he's listening, he'll love this. The Edge played the least amount of innings required to win the World Series since the 2009 West Coast Dogs.
Go Dogs.
That was the year the Dogs won it in Stockton, California. And I don't think that anybody played a full game with them. I think they 12-runned every team they played in that World Series.
Kyle's telling him to take this one. Kind of leans into it, slaps his leg as it goes by. High pop up over into left field. It's going to be right behind Richie Flores. Nobody is
Yeah, it's
over
in
there.
no man's land. That's just a good placed ball. You got it over Flores' head. And why
And
wasn't
Brandon was over a little closer towards center, and so he had to come quite a ways. And it was up there. That was a good 180 feet up in the air. So
Had some hang time for sure.
by the time anybody got even close to it, he was already at the base.
7-1 now. Nobody out, bottom of the third, and this is danger time for the Bayou City Heat. They need an out. They've got the White brothers coming up who are due. Neither one of them has scored yet today.
So this is going to put Corey up to bat.
This is going to put enormous pressure on the Heat defense here. You know Corey wants one. He's tired of hitting ground balls.
Just standing there very at ease. We do have some cloud cover for a few seconds. Still waiting for third base. It's very faint. It's going to be a little grounder again out short and to right as Tanner goes for it. But he is safe. That was a split-second call.
That was a speedy run there by Corey
was
also.
very
He was flashing
quick.
down that line. He ran right by us there. We're just to the right of the scorer's table. I heard him run right by us down that first base line.
He was smoking. And Tanner had just kind of his arm had gotten past the ball. He swept back around, but it is a matter of he just got there just like a tenth of a second sooner.
3 in a row to start the inning, and now it's 8-1.
With Corian.
And here comes Corian looking for his first run of the day. Everybody else in the lineup scored one. He's the only one that had.
That's going to be a foul ball right over to the Bayou Heat bench.
Corian has won a world championship every year that he has played because he played 4 with the Thunder and won all 4, and then went to the Edge last
and
year
won
and
one
won
there.
again.
I think I got a drop.
I think he's the only one now in the league that can claim that. Although, to Zach Bueller's credit, he didn't play last year.
Correct.
When the Thunder finally didn't win it.
It's just on the outer edge. I do feel some drops, though.
That could change the complexion of this game in a hurry if we get some rain.
It's very... taking a pass. I don't think it'll be much. It's a small gray cloud. And that is out as he throws the bat towards third base, bringing Justin Holland
And either
to
the
the
wind
plate.
has changed direction,
It has
or
changed
we
slightly.
have, because it's coming from our back now. It's blowing out. Is that
It
a
has
strikeout?
changed.
It was.
That was a
It was.
strikeout.
First out of the inning. Boy, Corian White 0 for 3. I don't think I've said that very often in my career. Corian 0 for 3.
Yeah, he was not happy whatsoever.
When you have an over 600 career batting average, you're not used to that sort of thing. And I'm sure he doesn't like it.
Justin pulling the bat back up over his shoulder. You could hear that. Would have been painful if that had hit.
That wasn't Justin's best swing, though, either. He'll give him a better one here.
And that one, the ball was on the outside.
Well, and he started to swing, so he jumped him a little bit, too. He was out ahead of him. Sometimes when you see it look like it's on the outside, that'll be because the batter started to swing too early. And the reason I know that without seeing it is that Kyle told him he did.
Definitely a few more raindrops.
That was a big one. That was the first one I felt, but it
Gotten several now.
thought for a minute a bird had got me.
Yes, so close.
No lightning yet, folks.
Absolutely
God
no lightning.
willing, but we've got some fat drops coming down here.
Which actually is quite cooling. And it's just a grounder out there into center.
This ball's got to be caught.
Richie has got to get to that ball before he is safe.
Nope. Those balls have got to be handled. And it's not just, up the middle there. Somebody can come up or somebody can come over and help out there, too, a little bit. That's a little bit of ground. Wasn't that quite a bit of ground for Richie to cover?
Yeah, it was not far past outside the 40-foot batters. He had to come up a lot. And if this rain persists, that can really slow down the grass and make a huge difference.
Oh, it can. There's no doubt about it. And the grass is already slow because it's thick. It'll really slow it down if it gets wet. Now
This is Mike Jackson with his flash socks.
it's 9-1 now. Still only one out, bottom of the third.
Mike laughing a little bit. An exhale before bringing the bat, pointing it out into center field. Back up over the shoulder. Almost an exaggerated slow swing there. And the ball just a touch underneath the bat.
Jackson scored last time, struck out, or scored his first time, struck out last.
Struck out the last time, yep. Because he was the last out. Because Aaron was up at bat first this inning.
At this point, the Heat will take it out any way they can get it.
Anyway. It's just outside the first base line, and that is going to be foul. Tanner somersaulting to try to get to it, but it is called foul.
They're going to adjust the speaker.
On third base. A little bit. Well, it's better than it was.
And
it was angled out toward the pitcher more than the batter.
There was also some coaching going on with Mike Jackson because he was sort of offline on that base run, too. Although it didn't end up mattering. They want to straighten
But you never know if it will.
It might on the next swing.
And it's going to be a little grounder over there to Tanner. Popped right through his hands, though. And nope, they're not going to make it. He is going to be safe.
That's an error, and they've got to be clean now. We've seen it on both sides. We've seen one from him. We've seen one from Richie. We saw that one up the middle there. And so now the ground balls are getting through, and now it's 10-1. And what that does now is that assures you that Eric's going to come up to bat again this inning, which isn't what you wanted.
Is that 10-1 or no?
I have 10-1.
I have 9-2.
9-2? No, 10-1.
I could be.
Because it was 5-1 going to this inning.
I gotcha, yeah. I clicked the wrong one there.
And this should be Aaron C.
This is Aaron C.
Yeah. They are 3 runs away from a 12-run rule here.
This and swinging early on that.
C likes to pull the ball. He is a very good pull hitter. Now, he can hit to the opposite field, but his power is to dead to left. The home runs I've seen him hit or come close to hitting have been in like the 1-2 zones on the third base side.
Oh, it's a slammer way over far into left.
Okay.
Probably almost 80 feet out.
Now, what did I tell you? Now, see, now he was a little early on that one, but that's where his power is, and that's where he wants to go. And that's where I've seen him hit a lot of his farthest balls. Now, sometimes they'll be foul like that one. And sometimes they'll be fair in that 1 or 2, and they'll be home runs or very close to it.
Yeah, I think that eventually went over the fence.
So you want him to be early, but it's just real delicate with Kyle because he wants to get him inside that third base line there, which can be a matter of an inch in or out on the plate or just a split second of timing. That was a majestic foul ball, but it doesn't count as anything but that, so he'll come back.
Ball has made it back up to Kyle as he walks his way back up to the pitcher's mound.
Aaron C. started in 2020. That was the first time I saw him. Was
only 3 years ago.
Shortened pandemic season. Yes, it seems like more than that. It didn't take him long.
Swinging just a little early.
You know what they're trying to do, and if
there, yeah,
you got to move Chester all the way over.
Yeah, and he's not over there.
He needs to be hugging that line.
Yeah, he should be.
I would rather give one up the middle than.
And again, an early swing, and he is out.
Struck him out. Now that's the problem, though. Sometimes he'll go to left, a little bit too much there, foul, and then end up clean swing and missing. But I like the idea. No, that's 2 outs. That's 2, dude.
That's only 2.
Listen. Yep, 2 outs. Sorry, guys. I'm supposed to be in the booth, but we don't really have one, so I'm kind of trying to help out. And now 2 outs, and Eric will come back up to bat.
Eric at the plate. Corey in the batter box. Heat resetting back up out in the field.
Eric's been a problem for them. I'm not sure they've retired him. Oh, they got him once, maybe.
I think they got him once.
Yeah, I think they got him once. I'm not sure they've gotten Justin Holland at all, though.
No.
No.
Set in the field. Bases, please. Thank you. Play.
High pop up over into left. I don't think that's going to be. It actually came right down on third base.
Did that hit third base?
It hit third base. It hit the base of, not the
Wonderful.
pole, but it hit the base of third base.
You know, it's funny because you could never do that if you tried. But
you try all day.
he hit one all. That was high in the air, man. It just happened.
Yep, come right down on third base.
All right, Eric. Right idea, wrong direction. Of course, the bases are 10 feet off the foul line, so that means he was 10 feet foul there.
Yes.
And they still don't have Brandon pushed over toward that line, so if he goes fair with that, he can run all day. Because there's all that room behind Richie, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, Brandon's actually moving closer to the center.
Yeah, that. All right.
So now there is absolutely nothing behind Richie.
Yeah, why
No.
would you leave all of left field open with Eric Rodriguez at the plate? But okay, well, we'll see what happens.
Because he will have to cover almost half the field to get over
it seemed
there.
like taking the attic to the pharmacy a little bit there. You're pulling the ball and you got nobody back there.
Take a pass.
We'll see if we've got an update on the other semifinal game.
Oh, the ball was under the swing.
17-14 after 4. Philly Fire still holding the lead, but the Thunder are
the
closing.
Thunder. This is it. He's got to get a taste of it here.
Eric, a good 3-strike hitter.
And there it goes, and right out into that pocket.
There it is.
Left
There's
field,
nobody
and there is nobody there. Brandon is running for it, but yeah. And there he goes.
All right, and so that's the 11th run of the game scored by the Edge. It's now 11-1.
And this is Corey up to bat. Yeah, absolutely nobody in that pocket at all.
And so if I'm Kyle and he's got all right-handers coming up here, if I'm Kyle, I just keep trying to go there with these guys. Make them move Brandon over or make them back Richie up or make them do something because otherwise just keep hitting that pocket. He's got righty power to do it. And Corey White can hit it over that line with the best of them, too.
Going to get a new ball.
We've been doing all right with balls this game, considering we've had some hard hits. We've been doing all right with
Especially
balls.
considering how many we went through
Yeah,
on the
the
last
second
game.
that we had a problem, yeah.
I think we went through 10 balls on that second game.
That was a little much. But I haven't heard that we are running low yet, and that's a good thing.
Not yet. Which is good, because they're going to need some of those tomorrow.
3 up, 3 down went Philly in the top of the 5th, so the Thunder are coming up only down 3 now. And that's getting late in that game. That's the game that's available over on the ISC Sports Network, y'all. If you want to look in on that. Or we encourage you to stay here, although that game's closer than this one. This is 11-1 as the Edge are edging closer to a championship game.
Play.
I couldn't even hear the third base.
I'm not hearing it very well either. Let's see if they turn on first to make it easy for him. They did. Oh, I'm horrible. That was right in front of me.
That was right in front of us. I was going to get it with my
I had to
foot.
reach 3 times before I found it. This is why I'm in the booth and not out there playing anymore.
And a high pop-up. Watch out, little kids. It's probably about 50 feet foul of the third base.
But you see what they're doing. Now they're all early because you see they've got that whole left side is kind of
They got that
back
pocket.
there,
They're
and
just
so-
hoping to hit it in there and have a free reign.
Yep.
Because if they hit it there, they can just pretty much ease right on to whatever base they need to. Corey winding up.
I know what I would do. I would take Jacory, move him and stick him right behind off of Richie's right shoulder.
It's going to be a pop-up right here behind. Well, Brandon has moved over a touch. He's not as far into center now.
Well, that's good.
Hold it up. We only have 3.
All right.
You want a new one? We got one.
Jason has these 2. So we got 5.
I spoke too soon. That's the first time I have heard a number that says that
Ball, 2 strikes.
Low.
we're getting low.
Set.
High pop-up over there to left field. It's going to be behind Richie.
Which is dropped.
Just dropped, and it's almost on the... Yeah, he's already at the base.
Not much you can do but catch that because by the time it landed, he was
there.
a couple steps from the base. And now it is 12-1, and Corian becomes a big batter in this game because if he scores, the edge, of course, of the home team, that will throw this game into the 12-run rule. This has been a dominating performance to this point by the defending world champions who look like they picked up right where they left off.
The Edge in their Superman shirts.
They've
That
been
Superman has... They've been Superman in
They've been
it.
super today. There's no doubt about it. And they let me see who they're going to play tomorrow morning, assuming they hang on.
Between the Thunder and the Philly.
Thunder
Over there.
was down 9 in that game. They've cut it to 3. Now they're at bat. So
And the short-lived 50 drops of rain we had was short-lived.
yeah, it's almost like it didn't happen.
Just enough to make me know it did.
Didn't take any of the starch out of the atmosphere, that's for sure.
Oh, now I can hear third.
Play. Set.
Oh, that was on the outside edge. Just ticked it.
I'm actually told the Thunder were down at one point 14-3 in that game and have come all the way back.
Wow.
Strike.
Nick and Tuck over there. Meanwhile, Corian White here, he's still looking for his first hit. That's
Still
the
looking
news.
for that hit.
That's the big news.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that hit.
Set.
And it's going to be
Now.
Well,
by about 25 feet of the
he's
first
still
base.
late. He's going to the first. Everybody else was going over the third base side. He's going over.
Going
the first
over
base
to
side.
first base. And he did that his last time up at bat.
One ball, 3 strikes. Play.
Winding that bat up. His red and white gloves.
Set.
You could hear that whistling right past there. He's
Corian.
out again.
He's
Just-
got the collar today, but the rest of his team is picking him up.
And now the
However,
Heat
we're
can
not in
come
the run
in.
rule yet. It's 12. 12-1 going to the fourth, so it's only an 11-run lead. 12-1.
Richie heading for the, putting who in? Putting Jason Dobbs in. For who? Who is he in for?
Aaron.
For Aaron. Okay. Jason Dobbs.
Jason Dobbs, all right.
In for Aaron C. As he's packing his stuff up, I think he might be heading out. Bayou having their little powwow for sending Richie Flores up to bat. With no bat. He'll need a bat to get started. Oh, Richie having his bat brought in as the edge finishes setting up out in the field. Got that Jason Dobbs out in left field now behind Eric Rodriguez, where Aaron was.
I need water. They have any liquids over here?
I don't know if they do in that cooler just to your left. You're right at it. There's Cobras in there. And getting ready here, this is Richie Flores. And a smacker down into the left field, but that's going to be foul, just about 3 foot outside of third base. So it'd be 13 feet out of the line. Back up, ready. Again, it's going to be short, dropping about 10 feet and outside third baseline.
Zach Bueller just tied it for the Thunder over on field one. They're even at
They're
17.
tied now. Ooh, it's going to be a vicious
Thunder's still
fight.
batting in the bottom of the fifth. That's anybody's game now.
Going to be another dropping about in the same spot. A little bit of correction from Ponzi there. Dropping it right into Rodriguez's pocket, though. It's going to be scooped out. He's out.
And that's the benefit of having Eric Rodriguez, is that he's not going to mess those balls up. He's not going to drop them. He's not going to miss them.
Just
He might make
scoops
one
that right
error
up.
a season over there, and it'll be in a game that doesn't matter or something, you know.
We'll bring Lee Rodriguez up to bat for the Heat.
And not only is it his athletic ability and his ears and his sports IQ, but they say the greatest abilities are availability and dependability. And, you know, much like Michael Jordan or Cal Ripken, he hardly ever misses a game. I think I can tell you, even when he's been
Extremely
sick,
dependable.
he comes out and plays.
A left-handed Lee. Swinging just a little early, all the way around, almost knocking himself over. Base and came back around. We're back on.
Who got that put out way out there?
That was Corian.
Corian again. Okay.
Corian over there by first. Lee had just missed the base, came back around. If he would have caught it the first time, he would have beat Corian there. Brings Tanner back up to bat. Oh, it's twice now when we've gone up, we've missed good hits.
Yes.
Justin Holland one, and now this one, where they were super close.
But that's an out, and so that's 2 outs now, and they need this from Tanner. Otherwise, it's going to be an 11-run lead going to the bottom of the 4th, and they can put this to bed. Tanner is 0 for, we'd like to change that. The one Bayou City Heat run was scored by Joe Fleeks last inning.
That just needs to be eliminated. Got to play.
That's crazy.
And a blind driver over into left, past Eric Rodriguez, though, going to the new guy. And he is safe. That gives them another run. That puts them up to 2.
So,
Without
first
passing
run of the
Jason
game.
Dobbs. Corey running all the way over there to try to get it, but could not get there in time. But that was, just outside of Eric's hands by about 6 to 7 inches.
First run of the game for Tanner. So he joins Joe Fleeks in the run column, and now it is 12 to 2.
It's 12 to 2 with Corey up to bat. We have Joe Fleeks giving Tanner a hug over there, as they are the only run holders here for this game for the Heat. Corey Wiley.
Go.
18-17 Thunder heading to the 6th.
Let it fly.
Gonna pop off right behind us. Going back over behind us to Joe Fleeks.
Relax, Cole. Let it fly, baby.
They said Tyler Rodriguez made a nice put out over there. Speaking of the Rodriguezes, to end that 5th inning, but the Thunder are up 1 heading to the 6th.
High pop up by
That's
Ja'Cory.
dead.
It is way up in the air. Dropping.
dead. Yeah, they can celebrate the hit. The problem is that ball's dead as a doornail. It was dead off the bat. It was dead when it landed, and unless it kicked back on after it landed, that's dead.
Let's see what that is called here.
Yeah,
It's a dead ball.
That ball is dead.
Ja'Cory back to the plate, as that is a dead ball call. It was a wonderful hit, though. Had lots of air, lots of time.
That is dead. Now we're looking for a ball.
Almost a whistly sound.
It's terrible, but let's see if they'll work. They want to work.
Try another one.
That's
There we
about
go.
right there. Ooh, but that's got a nice fast beat,
Fast.
and so what's going to end up happening is if they hit that one hard too, guess what it's going to do?
Makes it easier to find.
Well, until they hit it and it dies.
Thank you.
A lot of time when it has that faster beat like that, it means that it's on its last leg. See what happens here.
It's gonna just barely make it over the line. Eric's scrambling for it. He is safe.
Oh, he beat it out.
Oh, Eric, very angry, grabbing the ball to beat it into the ground and then toss it back to Fonzie.
Right on the line, and Eric thinks he should have made that play, and I don't blame him for thinking that, but that's tough, man. That's a long way to go with a guy with speed.
It was like 1.5 inches off of that line.
He was as clean as he could have been with it, I think, but I know the feeling, man, having played that position too, man. You think you should have that.
So that does bring it to 12-3. So that now puts Ja'Cory up on the board for the Heat as well.
Yep. 3 of their players have scored now. The top 3 in their lineup, and now Fleeks.
Back up to the plate. It's kind of angled a little off the pitcher. Interesting how this hit might go. He's almost not going to reset him. Yeah, that looks a little better. Man, almost nailed Fonzie. It's right up back there. It's going right straight into Corey, but he's got it. He just reached down. It wasn't even against his body. Grabbed the ball and held it up in the air.
Nice play by Corey White. That's a few putouts now for him in this game. Most unusual, it looks like. The Edge have found a new weapon, and it's Corey White on defense.
He just reached down by his feet, grabbed that nonchalantly. No deal at all. So that brings Edge in to their base to get some hydration before going up to bat.
So going to the bottom of the 4th now, the Edge are going to need 3 runs to get themselves into that run rule now, as it is 12-3. As the Heat put up 2, and I just got another update, so let's see what we have to see who the winner of this game will be playing.
Heat still slowly making their way out to the field.
The Fire are down to their last out. It's 18-17, 2 outs in the 6th. And this could be setting up what everybody locally here wants to see, which is an Edge Thunder
game.
We haven't had that in this tournament since 2016, the very first season of the Edge's existence, when they played in the championship game, and the Thunder won that on their way to a world championship, their first of 5.
So we're going to start off with Justin Holland up to bat for the Edge. Home run hero. And they most definitely are playing like Superman today.
This has been an impressive performance, although Bayou City Heat's made a few mistakes too. And you almost have to play perfect beat ball against the Edge. Much like it used to be with the Thunder, you almost had to play a perfect game. Now,
if you wanted a chance.
Did that. Like I said, in 2018, they forced 2 championship games because they upset the Thunder in the first one. Ja'Cory Wiley had a big game in that one. Joe Fleeks played in that one. Lee Rodriguez played. A lot of these guys played in that game. We've got a final from Field 1. Thunder came back to beat the Philly Fire 18-17. They erased an 11-run deficit.
Repeat that with final score again.
18-17, Indy Thunder.
So the Thunder did win.
18-17, and they will move on to play the winner of this game, which looks for the world right now like it will be the Indy Edge, and that game will be on the ISC Sports Network tomorrow morning with Greg Rakestraw and myself, and that's going to be fun. That's going to be a war. I guess I'll just say it. I can't find a better word.
A war. The
Four,
battles are today, but the war is tomorrow. Again, we have Justin Holland up to bat in his white, very grass-stained pants.
Yeah, they're coming.
And his Indy Edge hat.
Well, they're going to be able to prop that up all night long and into tomorrow morning. I don't know whether they're going to call it the Battle for the Circle City or the You know, the war for the soul of Indy, beat ball, or what they're going to call that. But we'll be on shortly after 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
The Bonanza War.
That's Eastern time. If you're on the West Coast, like our buddy Neil McDonald, that's 5 in the morning. You can wake up and have an early breakfast with us.
Wake up to beat ball. Ooh.
Play. Out.
Tick to that ball.
One strike. Play. Set.
That's a little on the outside. He's trying to catch that tip of the bat.
Two strike. Play.
Boy, with all the storylines for an Edge Thunder championship game, I'm probably going to be up half the night prepping for the game with all those.
High pop-up, but that's going to be almost hit him on the head as he runs. Yep, that almost hit him on the head as he ran down the baseline. He heard it falling down and kind of dodged to the right a little outside the line. Justin with a new baby at home. Congrats out to Justin and Brooke for baby Chloe.
I'd like to see him lose one right here, just for the heck of it.
Just for the heck of it.
Just for Chloe. Hey, why not, dude? Just drill one.
Just drill one as a homer, just for Chloe. So see if we get one, we're going to say it was for Chloe. I said, all right, let's go. Ooh,
He took a home run cut, but that'll be a strikeout. That'll be out number 1.
That's the first strikeout he's had, I believe, today. And this is going to be Mike Jackson up to bat with his flash socks. And white Terry headband and his flash socks.
So it appears it's setting up to be then the Heat and the Philly Fire for third place.
Play.
That third base is low. Pointing the bat right out to Kyle. It's going to be a little grounder right short over to they're not running.
He might outrun that. He did.
They stopped for quite a bit, like almost like it was a dead ball, and then I think all of a sudden they heard it because then
not
Richie
dead.
ran
You know,
for it.
Sometimes it can land on its speaker, or
Yep.
it can stop on its speaker. And when you've got especially thick grass like this, now in Texas grass, or when you don't have a whole lot of grass, it's not going to matter much. But when the ball is speaker down and you got this kind of grass, sometimes it can really muffle the sound. And let's face it, that's not the loudest ball in the world to begin with. We're getting down
It
to
was
where-
not. They all ran for it, and then they all just kind of stopped and paused. This is going to bring Jason Dobbs up to bat for the Edge.
13-3, and again, the importance of that run there was now that guarantees the top of the lineup, and Eric will get an at-bat in this inning. Jason Dobbs ordinarily used as a set defensive stopper.
It's going to be a line drive over onto first, but it's fouled by about 2.5 feet.
Not a bad poke over there for Dobbsy. Dobbs has been playing a while. He got his start back when the Kansas All-Stars were still rolling. Back in around 2010 or 2011. I played with him for a few years myself back in the Indy Extreme days.
Jason is back to the plate.
And we were extreme.
Were you extreme?
That was a perfect name for that team. We were extreme in everything we did, and that's why we never won a world championship, although we had
a lot of fun doing
we had
it.
a dynamic roster. We definitely had a lot of fun doing it. Some I remember more than others.
A little bit late on the swing.
Extreme was sort of the forerunner to this Indy Edge. Well, and then a few of them went the Thunder way, too.
Right.
That again. Did you feel it? Yeah. Set.
Batter go.
Ooh, struck him out. So that's the second out of the inning. They find themselves where they were before now. So they need 2 runs here to get this into the run rule. 2 outs, and we've got the top of the lineup.
Eric Rodriguez.
Eric Rodriguez. Who's
Corey.
Eric's just been raking today, at least in this game. Corey's done his business on defense.
Defense. He has been extremely defensive today.
Him and Corey on both.
Please. Thank you. Thank you.
I barely.
There we go. Thank you.
It's like a hum.
Play.
Again, if you don't hear it, run that direction. Oh, that was a little bit low. It dropped right to the ground right at the plate.
Eric was even a little bit confused. They're like, was that third base?
He did. He was saying that.
Sound like a base.
Set.
Right.
There it goes right in front of us again.
You gotta catch that, bro.
And it's going to be a plopper over here into the first base side and over by the... Oh, it's starting to ramp up its beeps.
Boy, if it had been like this all day, it'd be pretty pleasant. Now
Yeah.
the breeze going and the sun is kind of backed off on us a little bit. There's really not a lot of humidity.
It's not humid at all
It's just
all day. It's been a dry heat.
Yeah, I was very curious where those raindrops came from.
It's going to be a nailer right over into left field on the ground. Richie's going to run. He is right at it. He is out. He just barely had. He did get him out. So it's going to bring them up. They are not at the 12 run.
No, that's 2. Is that 3 outs?
That is
Yes,
3
it is.
outs.
You're right. That's 3 outs.
That is 3 outs.
And so, actually, Bayou City won that inning. If you think about it, 2-1.
They held them down.
Yep, so it's 13-3 now going to the 5th.
There's a little contention over there with Kyle thinking he did not have that away from his body.
I was interested. That play was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Richie didn't get it up quite as quickly as I thought he might.
It was a little bit shorter than one would have expected.
Yeah.
Have Edge taking the field. Putting some more defense back into work as the Bayou tries to come back up and regain some of that lost ground. I believe Brandon Chester will be up to bat. Again, Brandon Chester, who tore out his knee last year's World Series.
Boy, he sure did. Late in that World Series, I think that was in a game against the Thunder, as I recall.
I just remember that was a pretty painful to watch.
Right? Okay, yeah, you guys were doing that game. You were on the call of that, Rosina, and so yeah, I think that was the Thunder and the Blackhawks. I was watching that game from Alabama.
I thought it was his ankle at the time, but it ended up being his knee, and I heard him state that he played again in October. He was already playing by October. So this is
just in a different uniform. That was his last game with the Austin Blackhawks, where he had started his career and won a couple of championships with that team. That was me, I think. We are kind of close to home plate here, guys.
Go. Set the ball.
And a slammer by Brandon Chesser out into right field. It's going to be right in front of Justin Holland, up against his body, and he's got it out. He has got it out. He just laid down right there, came to his stomach,
The only
popped it
thing
up.
he had to do was get it off his body, and he did in time. And so you can add Justin Holland's name to the list of edge players who have made a putout. I believe that's 4 different edge players now that have made a putout.
That would be Richie Flores at home plate, heckling the defense. Open for a new ball.
Be nice to see Richie get a run here. He's had a tough game.
It's been a rough game for all of the Heat.
There's a good ball there. That's their own team if they want to yell during his base check.
It's right in the center, down the middle. They are going to be running. Corey, it just passed Corion's hands. He is going to be safe.
Wow, that's the first one Corion's missed all day, I think.
So that is going to give. You were just saying it'd be nice to see Richie get one.
Richie get one, and he got one.
And he just did.
He saved something out of what has otherwise been a pretty tough game. And, all right, well, they're back within 9 now.
And just right past Corion. It's going to bring Lee Rodriguez up to the plate. Lefty Lee. Joe from the bench telling him to keep fighting. And that breeze and cloud cover is most welcome. Getting Corion set back up. Excuse me, I think that was Corey's hands it went through, not Corion's. Swinging a little early. And it's going to be a line driver over there onto right. Oh, a perfect setup right almost along the base. Justin's running for it, but he is safe. Another one for the Heat by Lee Rodriguez.
Lee Rodriguez showing he still can.
Perfect placement. I mean, it was about 5 feet inside that right baseline all the way out. Justin running to catch it. Tried to throw his body and his feet out there ahead of it, but just couldn't quite get to it in time.
Lee's been playing since the early 90s. It's always nice to see somebody who's played that long still be able to score runs like that.
To hustle and get it done.
And it is 13-5.
Five, yes.
8-run spread. And now the top of the lineup comes up, so that was nice for the Heat's 5 and 6 hitters to get runs there. And now let's see if it's, I think it's
Tanner. It is back up at Tanner.
Tanner back up to the plate. He got one his last time.
Fonzie doing his little hop.
Can you check the connection? First base? Want me to get you first base?
And it won't be long before we're the only game still going on at this park. This game started about 45 minutes late.
Barely hums. It's a high pop-up into center, right past the spotter. It's going to be over Corion's tumbling, grab it, but he is safe. It was underneath his body, but he didn't get his hands on it. So now we've got 5 of the Heat getting on the board.
13 to 6.
13 to 6.
Still only one out.
And Jacory up to bat.
And that's 3 in a row on the board there. And Jacory, Wiley, and Joe Fleeks up to bat. They're not done yet.
Not done at all.
This is why when you've got a team down, you put them away. And surprisingly, the Edge didn't do that when they had a chance in 2 different innings here to really put them
So
away.
close to that 12-run rule.
They didn't shut the door.
A little bit of a low pitch, but he kind of has a low scoopy swing. On the tip of the bat, almost hits the grass. It's just on the inside of his swing. A few more rain droplets again. I just felt 2. The ball is just under his swing.
Gone.
That is going to be the out.
2 outs.
And Joe Fleeks coming up.
It's a 7-run game right now. The Edge have the last at bat, so you still feel like the Edge have this game where they want it, but it has tightened up considerably since it was 12-1.
Joe doing a slow exhale. Twice. As he prepares. Grip on the bat.
Joe started with the Heat, went to the Edge, played a couple years there, went back to the Heat just in time for the Edge to win a championship. I always hate it when that happens.
It's very close on that one. Another strike. It's just underneath the bat.
Yeah, he was a little low on him there.
And got a piece of it. Strong exhale. Fonzie. It's going to drop down to the ground, banging right over to Eric Rodriguez.
That's easy for Eric. Yeah.
He is out. No, he didn't.
All right,
He stopped because he did not hear the base.
He didn't hear the base. That's 3 outs. But the base was on, according to the scorekeeper's tent over here to our left. I feel his pain, man. I've got good ears. Now I'm farther away, but I got what I thought were good ears. I couldn't hear that base.
Yeah, it's just barely been humming.
Kyle. Gary got that last one, right? Okay, thank you. I was like, just making sure.
All right, so bottom of the 5th now. 13 to 6, the Edge lead.
Got Corey coming up to bat.
got here Corey on. And Justin, or am I totally messed up?
No, we had Justin. This is Corey to start off with, then Corey on.
And then Justin.
And then Justin, I believe.
Eric made the last out?
Yes.
Yes, you're right. Yep, he did.
Yes, he threw the bat down. He was very upset with that. Heat taking the field, getting set up. See if they have moved a couple people around. We've got Joe Fleeks out behind Richie now. Brandon is between left field and center, and it looks like the center is left open, the dead center. So it looks like we're trying to fill that pocket behind Richie. With Corey up to bat.
Not going to matter if he hits it over their heads, but ooh, not if it's that low. That sounded like a low
That
pitch
was
there.
very low.
I wonder if Kyle lost his grip on it or something. 'Cause that thing was, he bowled that almost. That's better. 2 strikes. I think they're going to have some contact here, except that he might. A lot of times when they get to 2 strikes, they'll take it. Let's see if he takes it here.
And pop up over into right. It's going to be foul. And there's some stuffing or something came out of the ball as well. Some fluff.
You know what I imagine happened is probably that little, it's not a cork, but the little round thing
The
that
padding.
holds the pin in.
Yes.
If that thing pops out, then you'll start losing stuffing from the ball. It'll literally, it'll start.
Yeah, there was like about 2 to 3 pieces of fluff came out of that.
See if we can knock some more out here.
Taking a deep breath. Going to take this.
Ooh, took that one. So full count now on the hero of the 2021 World Series Championship game.
It's going to clobber down low into left
Fair
field.
ball, though.
Past Joseph. And he's safe. That should have been gotten.
Well, and you know what, though? That ball is going to that's probably the end of that ball, too. Not only did you say it was losing some of its substance, but it's also starting to die. It sounded like a wounded duck off the bat.
It is still beeping.
It's still beeping. You know, maybe it had a lot of top spin. Maybe it had a lot of spin or something on it, because that thing made a weird sound.
Kyle stretching out on the field.
Now Corion's up. It's 14 to 6.
Liam Fonzie checking on him.
I do believe now this game is the only one left going.
Playing.
I think the rest of them are over with.
Eric shaking down Kyle's leg there. I don't know if he twisted it or pulled a muscle.
Jason, you mean to ask later? I'm asking, I'm being nice. First.
That'd be really nice.
Not that nice.
You're not that nice.
Maybe. But no.
Got a cramp. Trying to walk it off there. Shaking his leg around a little bit. Couple kicks. Corian up to bat. The grass is definitely getting worn there where they're standing. A hard knockout is going to go, almost hit first base.
Ugh.
Bounced on the ground about 2 feet in front of it.
Boy, there's been a lot of foul balls down that first base line over there.
Well, there were earlier on the third base, too.
And there were too, yeah.
Corey knocked
think
it
they're
back.
just-
Corey fixed it. Don't jinx it.
This game, I was going to commend this game earlier for moving at a good clip. Now it's kind of
Now it's
slowed to
kinda
a
stagnant.
crawl. Those last 2 innings
Well, we
have
still have the
taken
game
about
behind
an
us
hour.
going on.
We hear
It's
Comets and
it started well. That one started late as well because Boston was
Ah,
involved
gotcha.
in this one over here.
Gotcha.
So they're still probably And certain teams' games tend to take a little longer than others,
Certain ones. So.
depending on style of play and so forth.
Getting a tick off of that.
I thought he tipped it. So.
No, it was just the whistling air.
All right. What is that now?
That's Justin
I
Holland
think
up now.
that's 1 out now. 1 out, 1 in.
Yeah, it's because Corey scored, got a run, and Corian is out with Justin Holland up. That was Tanner out in the field telling his teammates, everybody scoot up.
1 out, 1 in, bottom of the 5th.
Oh, third base sounds much better now. Oh, and a slammer right out into left field, right behind Joe Fleeks. I don't think it was home. He is safe. I think it was right in front of the line that it bounced.
It wasn't high enough. It was kind of like, reminds me of Eric's ball leading off the game. It wasn't, didn't quite have the distance, but that's going to be a run. The only difference is it's 1 run instead of 2. I mean,
Instead of 2. It still's got to make
it's
you
a
feel
no
pretty good.
doubter anyhow, so.
This is Mike Jackson up to bat.
15-6. And I can't imagine somebody's updating me on a game still in progress here.
Could be possible. Comets Boston over there.
Looks like you will be playing the Heat tomorrow morning.
I'm ready for that pitch. And just the ball underneath the swing. He's telling him to listen. He's going to take a pass here. So that was the pass. Going to point his bat right out toward Kyle.
Ooh, that was low.
That was a little low and on the outside.
So that's 2 outs. 15-6, 2 outs, and it looks like we've got Jason Dobbs to the plate.
This is, yeah, he's in the batter box, yes.
Okay. Yeah, 3, so full count here on Jackson with Dobbs on deck.
Yes.
What I meant to say. Been a long day.
Took a deep breath. Rotating the bat back up over the shoulder. And the ball just under the swing.
So now there's 2 outs. Now we're back where we were, where I said we were 30 seconds ago.
Now we have Jason Dobbs.
Jason Dobbs with a chance to turn the order back up to Eric.
Who really did clobber it along the first baseline last time. It was just foul.
All right, Dom. Why don't you go and get you one, baby?
As it is approaching 5 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone.
So these players have been out here, many of them, since 7:30.
Yes, true. We got out here. We were spoiled. We got out here about 8.
About 8. And swinging just underneath the ball. Under the bat again. A slam right into
That's a problem,
center
though.
field.
The problem is that ball was dead off the bat.
He has him out.
What a play. Who made it?
That is, I believe, Brandon Chesser.
Well,
Brandon, he
either my
scooped it up.
ears deceived me, or the ball came back on it when it hit the ground, or he fielded a dead ball. I will find
He
out.
jumped his body right in front of it. I think they heard it.
I mean, you
Scooped
can
it
field
up.
it in the grass, yes, okay. I can't hear that. You can hear that?
Brandon's up, baby.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
So that brings the Heat back up to bat. They've got to recover 10 runs to win.
Okay. Well, there's your high-pitched live ball. There's no way you could hear that way out there.
Well, apparently Brandon did because he got him out.
No, I'm talking about her. She said it was high-pitched and it was still beeping. I couldn't hear it at all.
I got teacher hearing.
Teacher hearing. That's equivalent to mom hearing.
Yeah, right.
I heard
well.
that. Yeah. I heard that.
Well, the pertinent part of it is that was an out either way, and so that's the end of the 5th inning. It is 15-6 going to the 6th. Last opportunity for Bayou City.
And we got some more sprinkles coming on.
And we've got more sprinkles, and this doesn't bode well for the outdoor dinner thing that I think is planned later.
But it sure feels nice.
It does feel nice, but I think this might stick around a little longer. This is the most sprinkling I felt all day.
Cloud's still pretty small. It's a pretty small gray cloud. So we got Brandon up to bat at home plate with his white gloves. And he's got a pair of orange gloves in his back pocket as well. So he's double gloved and ready. Just nice and loud. Good confirmation on third.
All right, yeah.
Okay, ready to go. Brandon Chesser up to bat. So we have our base situation. It's going to just barely jump past. Eric has to run all the way up there, but I think he's going to get it this time. He is out. Yes, somersaulted right over it, pulled it up over on his rollover. That was an out. It was
He
just
wasn't going to be late to the party on that one. He was a little late to the party on one earlier. He got there.
I think that was on Richie's that he was a little late. Yep.
Yep.
But this time it was about a foot past the line. Uh-oh. Brandon is down at first base again. He's just laying. He's rolling over. Sitting up. There goes a tent.
Look out.
And watch out!
There goes a tent blowing. And
Rolling, almost hit. Brandon had been laying down. It rolled over
wow.
3 times. Kyle ran out to get it.
So some chaos there down the first base line here late in this game. Is Brandon up now?
And Brandon is up.
I did a tent flying toward
And he's
me.
actually helping to hold flip the tent back over.
All right.
It's now sideways. They're trying to flip it back over.
And the wind is picking up a little bit. That's why that tent blew. And
Yeah.
what they really just need to do is get this game over as soon as possible. 15-6.
So walking the tent back over to the Heat's. Because that was the second Heat tent that blew off. Blew all the way down to first base.
Well, now here we go. Now I've got rain at my back and sun in my face. And
And a tent in your far view.
I wonder if we'll have a rainbow.
We have Richie Flores up to bat for the Heat. Making sure the edge is set. Sending the spotter back out to the field.
MVP right there.
Richie looking to get another run. Has his lips pursed tight. It's going to be a pop-up into center field. Eric rushing over to scoop it up and out. That brings Lee Rodriguez up to bat, lefty Lee. More rain showing up. Still big, fat, fluffy drops, though. Not.
All right, Houston's down to their last out now. Bayou City is. And the Edge's reward now for not, or punishment, as it were, for not 12 running this team an hour ago is now they're going to get
Playing the
poured.
rain.
And so are
Well,
we.
I wouldn't call it poured, but it does make it hard to hear.
I'm getting rain
Practice
on and sun
swings.
at the same time. This is awesome. Midwest weather, man. You can't beat it.
High pop up over into right, but that's straight to Corian. He's dodged back and forth to Corian, rustling to grab it. And he is out.
Ball game over.
That is it.
15-6, the final, and so the Indy Edge at 3-0 will take on the Indy Thunder at 3-0 tomorrow morning. The Bayou City Heat at 2-1 presumably will play the Philly Fire for third.
As the rain now starts to taper off, we want to thank you all for spending the day with us out here at the Indy Bonanza Beat Ball Tournament. Thank you for tuning in, and there will be a televised game tomorrow morning.
Bright and early tomorrow morning, about 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Look for the link to pop up, and we will have it for you, Edge and Thunder from North Central. Thanks for tuning in today.